So today you join me at BD Performance, where you can see my 1M Coupe is actually up on the ramp. Really nice workshop. For those that haven't heard of BD Performance, they are mainly a Ford specialist. They specialize also in VAG and they dabble in a bit of BMW. So for those that have met Darren, you know he's got a wealth of knowledge on cars. And you know, once you do have a good understanding on cars, a car is just a car. Obviously the 1M Coupe, it's got the N54 engine. They are apparently problematic engines. And there are two things that are starting to bug me with it, which is why it's up on the ramp. Firstly, I've been noticing the power is a little inconsistent. It's only happened 2 or 3 times now, but when I get on the throttle, it almost feels like there's no power. Once upon a time when I had my manual F80 M3, I cracked the charge pipes. It felt similar, but the difference with the F80 was the power was consistently gone, whereas this car, 95% of the time it feels fine, and then on the odd occasion, the power goes. So definitely that's something we need to diagnose and hopefully fix today. And the second issue actually happened today. So BD Performance, 190 miles away, about 130 miles into the trip, the car decided to overheat. I had to pull over on the motorway, the hard shoulder, while steam was coming out the bonnet, and we monitored the temperature, managed to get to BD Performance. So that's another issue that's popped out of nowhere, which we've got to fix. And you know what they say, high performance cars, they like to be driven, not parked up. That's usually when things start to fail and break. I don't know, I'm sure that's what people say. But anyway, we'll meet the owner, Darren, in a sec. We'll meet some of his technicians, and hopefully we'll fix this 1M Coupe.
You caught me doing my hair again, Ricky.
Yeah, bloody hell, yeah. So we've got the 1M up on the ramp. I've already mentioned the channel that I've been suffering with a few little issues. Obviously today I found out it overheated. I had to pull over on the motorway. You come and rescue me?
Yeah, we came with a trailer and just followed you just in case. But yeah, so we're back here. We've got it up in the air. We're going to do a few tests. Obviously, this particular model of BMW suffers with a couple of common issues. So we're going to start at the beginning, start at the cheapest option, which is to do a smoke test, make sure there's no leaks on the pressure or the vacuum system, and go from there and work our way onwards through some of the more expensive options, which are obviously parts related, like solenoids and stuff like that, and just find out and just hopefully get to the bottom of it.
So the overheating problem was thermostat and
water pump and thermostat. So we've ordered a genuine part from BMW. Thanks to Rybrook in Shrewsbury, they've helped us out with that. Fortunately, the young man knew Ricky, so we got a little bit of extra discount. £740 roughly for the thermostat housing, the water pump, and the bolts and everything that go with it. But he did us just under 650, I think it was. Right. So basically there's 2 codes in there that correlate with water pumps sort of thermostat issue, so those are 2 the most common codes, so it indicated that, and the very fact that, like, you know, the coolant system wasn't leaking at the time or anything, so ergo it was just the right thing to do.
Can you just start it again for us?
Right, small update. So we've done a smoke test with a Smoke Pro. Basically that fires smoke into the intake system. It gets all the way through the system, the pressure side, vacuum, everything. If you leave it long enough, it'll even come out the exhaust. So that detects any leaks. With the light, we can see if there's any leaks from any joints, any hoses, any holes, anything like that.
So does that mean that the charge pipes are fine?
Yeah, everything. There's no hoses gone, there's no perished hoses, no holes in any hoses, no clamps loose or anything like that.
So next thing is
boost control solenoids. So a pair of Peerberg solenoids, they are OE equipment, Peerberg written on them anyway, the originals. So these are the originals off the car. There's two of them because there's two turbos, a smaller one and a larger one. Both would get replaced at the same time. Obviously, if these control or are part of the wastegate control, so hence the reason for actually replacing them. These are about 150 quid for the pair of them for Peerberg ones from a local supplier, so they're not the end of the world.
We went to go to BMW, they didn't have them in stock, did they?
No, they tried to sell us. In fact, we got a genuine water pump for this and a genuine thermostat. And when I ordered a pair of these solenoids, they actually sent a pair of VVT solenoids, the variable hand timing solenoids. So I luckily opened up the box because I thought, hang on a minute, these things are like £300. That can't be right.
The 30FF code, sorry. What is
so the 30FF code is boost pressure low on the turbochargers, so that could be one of the two. You've got two solenoids as well, so there could be anything to do with a boost leak, it could be a vacuum leak. There's some canisters on the front as well that are a common issue, cracks in them which people have noted. Obviously then after that fact, you've got the solenoids and then you've got the actuators and the turbos themselves, but there's nothing to suggest that it's anything to do with the turbo, but it could be actuator wastegate control, which is why we're getting this boost pressure low. So basically the car's asking for one thing and it's delivering another, which is why it's such an irritating thing to resolve, really.
So what are we looking at now, Darren?
So we're just checking the actuator rod to see if there's any movement in that, because these have got a nasty little habit of problem found.
No tension on the actuator rod, look at that. So your wastegate's basically never fully closing.
Devise a solution then.
A rapid cooling solution is what we need. More likely to only be the larger rear turbo, because it doesn't do it low down, does it?
It does. Once it activates, it's like sort of, it just stays in the mode.
Once the faults come, it's there and existing, pre-existing, so the fault will always exist. But it didn't do it. When you went out locally here, you went round and you took it out and did a little journey. It was only when you loaded it up on the motorway.
I mean, it did
high level.
But yesterday, just from the beginning of the journey, it was just not good.
Maybe you just got into that higher end and the bigger turbo was working harder and it threw up that fault, and then once it's done that, you're goosed, aren't you?
Right, so we've got a little demonstration here. So you've done what you can with the actuator, yeah?
Tightened it as much as I can without risking kind of giving you an overboost problem. But you can see here basically on yours, when you played with the actuator, there's quite a lot of play in yours, whereas that one's dead solid. But also I did notice you can pull the pin slightly in and out, so there is a bit of wear in there, but hopefully the adjustment we've done on the actuator might just kind of eliminate this problem for the time being.
Needs a turbo off to have a look at it properly, because if that penny isn't shutting correctly, then that's where obviously the underboost issues coming from, and like Ben said, we're temporarily trying to give a solution and also find out whether the fix that we're offering is the correct fix, aren't we, really? So we've gone through the whole process now. There was only a very slight kind of noise, wasn't there, really, Ben, in terms of you could only hear it when it started up, so the rattle wasn't there. So on some of the vehicles you'll hear when a penny wastegate's not sealed correctly, you'll hear them instantaneously, they'll flutter. But hopefully this should temporarily resolve it, but ultimately the turbo's probably going to have to come off, at least, the big turbo at least, isn't it?
Respect, Ben.
No worries.
Working after hours. I heard you're getting murders when you get home.
Yeah, probably.
Both of us, we're both dead, but you know, anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've achieved a little bit. You know, ultimately, nobody knew that water pump was going to fail when we were on the way down here, so we didn't have anywhere near as much time as we planned. So, you know, 3.5-4 hours of doing the water pump, and the fact that we had to order it and wait for it as well and go over to Shrewsbury, you know, like I said before, thanks to Rye Brooks, but that just put us behind for fault finding, which was the kind of original task, which is disappointing from our point of view, that we wanted to get to the root, you know, cause of this issue sooner and maybe got it resolved. But irrespective of that, now knowing that it was a turbo issue, likelihood high, we probably wouldn't have been able to do that the same day, or even like over a couple of days anyway, because sending the turbo off and everything. But ultimately, hopefully this will get you somewhere near to a temporary solution until such time as over to a specialist and get them sorted.
Gonna end the video there. As always, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and yeah, all your links will be in the description. See you later, guys.
See you later.